Hello, everyone. We're here for a live interview with Victor Andrews, who is a American official professional wrestler. Wait for him to join in the live chat, and we'll talk to Victor and how his opportunity came to join WWE. We'll just wait for him to join, and then we'll get things underway. And any questions you guys have for this chat with Victor Andrews, please leave your thoughts down below, and I'll potentially, if I've got time, I will read some of your questions out. All right, he's here, and we'll welcome you when the internet loads properly. We're having some problems at the moment with the connection. Let me re-invite. All right, should be in very shortly. Victor, how you going?
What's up, brother? How you feeling?
Not good. Not bad. Yourself?
I'm doing all right, doing all right. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Glad you can hear me
Awesome.
as well. I might as well
Absolutely.
get things underway. So we're being joined here by American professional wrestler Victor Andrews. Victor, thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me, man. It's been a good talk between the two of us leading up to this.
Absolutely.
So thank you for having
So
me.
people may know you as Bert from WWE on the Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago, having a match against Veer Mahan. What was that experience like, and how did that come about?
Oh man, it's an amazing experience. They actually gave me a call, asked me to come down to work the event. Once I got there, they told me what the details of what I was supposed to be doing. I was down for it. I've worked for WWE for a good while, for about 3 years,
Yeah,
off and on doing a little extra work. I did NXT. Me and Lars Sullivan faced Heavy Machinery
yep,
back when he was on NXT. And then I was part of one of the Lashley sisters on Monday Night Raw.
that's
So
right.
that was a crazy experience. So
Mm.
being able to actually compete in a ring was more than amazing.
Obviously, first we'll talk about the Veer Mahan match. What was, I suppose, as you mentioned, you've previously been on WWE TV through being in segments and through matches on NXT as well. What was it like having your first live show on the main roster in a match against Veer? How did that go for yourself personally?
For me personally, man, it was an amazing experience. Just
Mm.
experiencing it, getting that opportunity, but it was even more meaningful when my son's mother sent me a picture of
Mm.
him watching me on TV, and
Yeah,
the look in his eyes and the pride and the smile on his face showed that I actually did something that was a big thing, like bigger than what I actually thought. I thought it was already a big thing being on Monday Night Raw, but when I
yeah.
saw that picture of my son with me sitting in the background on TV. Well, man, it's just yeah, it really did my heart really big,
Mm.
really some good.
It was an amazing moment. I did see your post about that, and it is great to see an achievement that not many people can say they get the opportunity to do. And another part I've been is also what they probably call an enhancement talent in that position that you had against Via. Not many recently, at least, have had mic time in that in their time in that position. What was that like to get time on the microphone, which is obviously in that position is very rare these days?
Yeah, and I actually seen that a lot.
Mm,
When I did NXT, they gave me some mic time.
yeah,
Monday Night Raw, they gave me some mic time. So it was cool just to know that they had the confidence in me to be able to get on the microphone, deliver a message, or whatever the script was that the writers did. The writers did a really good job,
mm,
giving me a really good script, something that I can manage and go out there and deliver the way they needed me to. So, man,
mm.
it was an honor being able to do that.
Now, obviously, you mentioned too, you've wrestled once on NXT before under Triple H's NXT, tagging up with Lars Sullivan against Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker. I know that was 2017, I think that was. What was that experience like? That would have been your first match in WWE. So how did that go?
Oh man, it was amazing. Steve Carino is one of my really good friends. He
Yeah.
actually helped me get down there to be a part of that. And I didn't know what to expect. I always go in with no expectations. Just
Mm,
go in there and whatever they give you, you kind of just go with.
yeah.
So when they came to me and they told me, yeah, it's gonna be you and Lars versus Heavy Machinery, I said, okay, cool. I watched the product. I know how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Lars would be, I get in there and I just get beat up the entire time. But when they actually said, no, you have offense
Yeah.
and you have a promo and everything like that, I was like, okay, well, this is amazing. You know, thank you for, you know, actually having the confidence in me to go out there and really perform the way you guys are expecting me to. So,
Mm,
man, it's such an honor to get out there. Loss is a really good guy. You know,
mm,
Machinery, really great guys. I speak to them every time I go to a WWE event. Every now and then, you know, kind of catch up.
mm,
They actually have opportunities to talk to my son, you know, via
yeah.
FaceTime. So that's really cool. We don't be able to do that. So, you know, it was amazing, bro.
Mm,
Every experience I've had with WWE has
yeah.
always been amazing.
So obviously, what's it like pre-match where you obviously run through a stretch as well? In your case with the NXT match, you would have gone through with Heavy Machinery and Lars helping you go through the match and how it was going to go through. Everything go to plan in that match.
Absolutely.
Mm,
Everything went exactly how we expected it to. We actually exceeded expectations.
mm,
So whenever I show up to a show, whether it's WWE, Control Your Narrative, which one I'm a part of now,
yep.
with EC3 and Braun Strowman,
Mm,
no matter where I go, even on the independents, I'll always go to the owner, the promoter, the
yeah.
booker, whoever's running things, and ask them, what can I do to exceed your
Mm.
expectations? And I aim for that every time I step in the ring.
Now you mentioned Control Your Narrative, Braun Strowman and EC3. What's it like working with those guys? Obviously, a different product to WWE. Obviously, similar type stuff, but what's the difference probably between WWE and Control Your Narrative with those two guys in particular?
It is control your narrative.
Mm,
So we really do have creative control on a
yeah,
lot of things that we do. Control your narrative is nothing like any other product. It's amazing. We just had a amazing show this weekend. We was in Cleveland on Friday,
yeah,
sold out house. Um, I want to say close to about 400 or 500 people in the building.
mm,
Then we had Detroit on Saturday, another really good show, very large house, close to about 200 to 300 there, maybe even more.
mm,
It's an amazing experience. It's awesome to be able to work with guys like Braun Strowman and pick his brain and get his ideas and his his experiences and
mm,
his advice, and to work side by side with EC3 and kind of talk to him and see what his product is, his mindset and what he sees and what his vision.
mm,
JC, who is a really great guy, you know, he puts together the entire product. We have a really great team. Everybody's really strong. Everybody's really connected. Everybody helps each other out, pushes each other to the next level. There's no bashing each other.
mm,
We're a family. We're a
yeah,
complete a family, and it's very rare to find that in a major company like this,
yeah,
let alone any independent companies, where the entire crew comes together like a family. You know,
mm,
we laugh, we joke, we have moments where we may have to cry, and we sit there, we cry together. We have the best food.
mm,
Dudes Gourmet is the best food ever. You know, WWE has great catering, but
yeah,
Dudes Gourmet,
mm,
oh man, the best food I've ever tasted. We had some really great burgers this past weekend. Um, yeah, man, the product that we put on is very different. It's very
yeah,
cinematic, very undergroundish. You know, we can go out there and tell our stories, tell
yeah.
who we are in a very cinematic way, and it's pretty much like it's labeled. We control our narrative.
Now, obviously, it might be a little bit off topic, but Braun Strowman seemed to, well, Adam Shears try to have a fair new amount of haircuts these days. What do you think of his most recent hairdo?
I love it.
Mm,
I love it. Every time I see him with a new haircut, I'm like, man, listen. I wish I could pull some haircuts off, but you know, I
mm,
got the little short, little
yeah,
top, you know, or whatever. But Braun,
mm.
he has like it fits his character, it fits
Mm.
him, and you know, I love that dude to death.
Now, just going back to the WWE stuff as well, obviously being in an extra in the Bobby Lashley segment where we were part of his sisters. What was that like in that segment with Sami Zayn as well?
Uh, like I said, I tried to make the best of every
Mm,
experience. They
that's right.
came to us and was like, yeah, we want you guys to dress like women, to pretend like to be his sisters, and I'm like, it is what it is. I'm
Yeah,
still getting paid no matter what. So I go out there and do my thing. I actually had moments where I was sitting and I was playing with my bra, you
yeah,
know, patting my
yeah,
breast or whatever,
yeah,
because I wanted to make sure that whatever I do, you at least remember something. You know, it's
yeah.
three guys, this is women. You know, Bobby Lashley is a really big guy, really great
Mm,
superstar. Sami Zayn, really great superstar.
mm,
I'm just for a moment to create an experience. And when I got to the back, Cedric Alexander, who was a really good friend,
yeah,
he was like, "Man, you're probably the most ugliest, beautiful woman I've ever seen."
Yeah.
He was like, let me ask you a question. Did you really have to play with your breast on the screen? And I was like, do you remember that? He was like, yeah. I said, good. Then I did exactly what I needed to do. I
Mm.
want everybody to remember that man went up there and played with his breast on the screen. You know, even though he's dressed like a woman, he made the best of it.
That's right. I mean, you take any opportunity you get, as you said, and you clearly have exceeded and done expectations well to their sense, because obviously they wouldn't have asked you to keep coming back had you not been doing that. So obviously that's a credit on your part. Now, obviously, how did you get into wrestling? How did that come about for you when you were younger?
I actually started kind of late. I wish I'd have
Mm.
started earlier, but you know, timing is timing. I
Yeah.
was actually a boxer before I started wrestling.
Yep. Okay.
I was actually working with a modeling acting company in New York. And one of the managers for that company, she actually was a wrestler, and she introduced it to me. She noticed I wasn't getting any boxing fights because I was 150 pounds, boxing guys that was 300 pounds and knocking them out. So
Mm.
anybody my size was just intimidated. So she was like, "Well, give wrestling a try. You can actually wrestle against guys your size and bigger, and it all makes sense."
Mm.
So she took me down to New Jersey. We started training. Left New York, came out to North Carolina, started training with C.W. Anderson from ECW,
Yep.
and the rest is history, brother. Been doing it for 13 years
Mm.
now.
Who is some of your favorite wrestlers you've ever come to? Even if you met any of your favorite wrestlers in person while being in these roles in WWE, or someone else that you've had as your favorites that you may not have met personally before?
My all-time favorite
Mm.
is The Undertaker.
Yeah.
No doubt, The Undertaker. And I had the opportunity to speak to him, and
Okay.
it's the funniest experience. So I'm
Mm.
sitting in catering,
Yep.
and I'm really picky on what I eat. So I don't eat a lot of different things. I don't drink a lot of things. I don't drink water,
Yep.
none of those type of things. And I'm sitting in catering, so I had me a ham and cheese sandwich,
Yep.
a bag of Doritos, and a Pepsi. So I'm
Okay.
sitting there, I'm like, I'm chilling, I'm eating my sandwich.
Mm.
And the Undertaker walks in. He
Mm.
has on jeans, a shirt, his hair is braided in a ponytail, and this is during WrestleMania
Okay.
2019 Coffee Mania.
Yep.
So I'm sitting backstage, and Undertaker walks in, and all I saw was the smoke and mirrors, the long trench coat, the hat. When he walked in, that's all I saw. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and I'm looking around, and I'm sitting looking at the table, and it's just me by myself. And I was like, I hope he comes sit next to me. And I'm getting excited, and I was like, I hope he comes and sits next to me because I just want to speak to him. I just want to say hello,
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah.
So as he's getting closer, and I mind you, WWE has really great catering.
Mm.
A full table of food laid out. So he's making his plate, and he's putting all this type of foods up there, and he has like this big plate of food. And I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at him, and he's walking around, and I look down, and I notice I had a kid's lunch sitting in front of me, like a
Yeah.
child, like something my kid would want to eat at school.
Mm.
So I was like, I hope you don't sit next to me because this is embarrassing. I hope you don't sit next to me.
Mm.
And he sits directly next to me. And I was like, how you doing, Mr. Undertaker? And he's like, how you doing? You can call me Mark. I said, okay, how you doing? My name is Victor. You know, it was really cool for him to say I can call him
Mm.
Mark. And I didn't, of course. I still said Undertaker, which was stupid on my part.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm eating my sandwich. And he says, your sandwich pretty good? And I was like, yeah, yeah. I said, how's your food? He was like, oh, it's good. And then Kane comes and sits on the other side of him. And I was like, all right, well, this is getting worse because
Yeah.
now I have two big guys sitting here with me with these big plates of food, and I'm eating a child's lunch. And Big Show comes and sits
Another
with
one.
them as well. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna leave now because now it's really bad. I don't
Too
want to sit
starstruck.
here, yeah, with a Lunchable, and they all sitting there with these big giant foods. So yeah, I got up and I left, but it was an amazing experience to talk to him.
So you mentioned that WrestleMania. You briefly mentioned Kofi Mania. Obviously, being at that WrestleMania, then what was that atmosphere like to witness that crowd go nuts for Kofi, and obviously achievement that, in his case, was probably the best moment of his career for the whole New Day as well, even though they weren't necessarily the part of the title match, but they were involved in the segment, and it was just a great moment to see for everyone, including Kofi.
Absolutely, and it was uh, it's a profound moment for me.
Mm.
I've spoken to Coffee a couple of times. Every time I go to different shows,
Yeah.
I wear these really flamboyant looking suits, you know, that kind of helps me stand out.
Yeah.
So when first he met me, he was like, man, that's a really great suit. I had on a Spider-Man suit,
Mm.
and we talked for a minute, and I kind of built like a little reputation of knowing each other.
Yeah.
So when WrestleMania came around, I had on another suit. He was like, yo, I love your suit. He was actually filming his WWE 24 at that time.
Yeah.
So we got to talk for a little bit, and then when the moment happened, and I told him before the show happened, I said, listen, man, no matter what happens, whether you win or lose, we behind you. You open the doors for us to be able to have a moment like this, especially for me trying to get into the company, building myself up on the indies and working my way through the ranks. You're making a big moment and you're opening a big door for a lot of us. So win or lose, we're behind you. We love you. We appreciate you. And just go out there and just do what you do. And the moment he won, you know, I got to talk to him. He was like, man, I just can't believe it. And I was like, believe it, brother, because it's on your shoulders now. Like that belt is on your shoulders.
Yeah.
You know, the culture is on your shoulders. Everybody is so proud and happy, and you know, it made me want to work a whole lot harder.
Yeah, we mentioned about WrestleMania while we're at it. Cody Rhodes, now obviously he made his magnificent return to WWE after 6 years of being away from WWE. Personally, did you ever expect someone like that to move from one company to another in a big moment like that? And with that happening now, do you expect other people in the future to be doing the same moves as Cody's made?
My mentality is to always expect the unexpected. You know, things happen, differences of opinions happen, you know, but at the end of the day, it's all a business.
Yeah.
So if we come and sit down at the table and talk business and make some things happen, everything is possible. That's my mentality. Everything is possible. So being that guys are going from WWE to Impact or WWE to AEW and vice versa, guys are coming back from AEW back to WWE and Impact. I mean, we've had Mickie James come and do the Royal Rumble with the TNA Impact Championship on her shoulder. So everything is possible. Just keep your eyes open and just be ready and just enjoy wrestling. That's all I want to tell the fans. Enjoy it. Don't worry about who's moving to where and why and who deserves what. Just let these people go out there and work their jobs and make their money. And then wherever they at the end of the day, they're taking care of their families. So let it happen.
Now, a lot of people have been wanting me to ask you this, so I will. What was it like? Well, first of all, I know the answer personally because I've asked you this already off air, but have you met Vince McMahon before? And if so, what did he say to you once you went past him? Because obviously there's stories around that not many people get to meet Vince or at least get to talk to him regularly. Did you get to meet him? And if so, how was that experience?
Got to talk to him once, just in passing of hello, how you doing?
Yeah.
He had one opportunity where I actually shook his hand. He said, how you doing, Vince? And I said, how you doing? You know, I'm Roosevelt. Nice to meet you. And then that was it. This last show at the when I wrestled against Vince McMahon, he was actually there in Gorilla, and Shane Helms was actually my agent for the match. So he passed the message from Shane to me to tell me how well I did. So that was a great experience. So not many, like it's true, not many can be able to talk to Vince. He's got a lot of things going on. You got to think about it. Man, that's running a multi-billion-dollar company. He has everything. Even though he has a lot of people working under him, at the end of the day, it's still his vision, his baby. So he's actually hands-on with a lot of different things. So people got to understand, and that's a busy man, and time is money, and you can't waste his time.
That's right. Now, we obviously mentioned Vince. So Triple H, you said you were there in that NXT match against Heavy Machinery with Lars. What was it like working with Triple H in that time frame? Obviously, now it's a bit different where he's not so much running NXT, but that stage he was. What was it like being involved with Hunter? And Shawn Michaels, I'm sure, was there at that time as well.
Absolutely. And when the day that I got there, I walked into the building and I walked past a conference room, and on the other side of the door was Triple H sitting at the and they were having a meeting. And then as I was walking a little bit further, Shawn Michaels was on the other side of that door. And I was with a friend of mine who just recently passed in January. He's been behind me ever since my start in North Carolina. So, rest in peace, Shawn. I love you, bro. Just being able to experience all that, meeting Shawn Michaels and Triple H and shaking their hands and talking to them just for a brief second. And then after the match was done, Triple H came and he found me and he shook my hand, told me how well I did. And even at that moment, I thought I screwed up something. So, he came up to me, shook my hand, said, great job, and he walked away. And I was like, wait, but what did I do wrong? And, Matt Bloom, he used to be Tenzai or Albert, however you guys remember him.
Yeah.
He came up to me, you were awesome. And he walked away. And I was like, wait, but what did I do wrong? So I talked to Steve Corino for a good while after that. I was like, what did I do wrong? He was like, no, everything was perfect. You did everything great. I said, yeah, but there's no such thing as everything is perfect.
Yeah.
There's got to be something could have done better. Like this could have been something. Like could I have
Mm.
sold better? Could my promo have been better? Could anything like my entrance to the ring? Like what could have been better? He was like, no, everything was exactly what we needed it and more. You did perfect. Don't worry about it. You were great. And I was like, okay, cool. So, it was always a great experience being able to talk to those guys and kind of get some feedback, even if it's negative or positive. But I've yet to get any negative feedback from
Mm.
anybody.
Just two more questions for you, Victor. So I appreciate you coming on. Uh, Edge, have you ever met Edge before? And if so, what was that experience like? Obviously, he's doing some great work at his age. He's still killing it now with this, what people like to call a heel turn. With the Judgment Day, he seems to be doing a great job, and age is just a number to him. He's doing magnificent.
Right. I have not had a chance to meet Edge. However, let me show you something really quick. I just happen to have my bag right here. Um, Before Edge returned to WWE, I
Mm.
didn't know he was actually coming back.
Mm.
So several years ago, I was looking for a new ring gear,
Yeah.
something to walk to the ring, and I actually have an Edge replica jacket.
Awesome.
I found it online, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be my thing.
Yeah.
So when I was there a couple of weeks ago on Raw,
Mm.
and as I'm driving to the arena, and I was like, oh crap,
You're going to be there.
it just and I was like, I wonder if I put my jacket on, would he recognize it and would he say something?
Yeah.
Then I was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna do that. That's
Mm.
too fanboy.
Yeah.
Like you're going to work, you're going to do a job. So just go in there and be professional. So I actually kept my jacket in the bag, but
Yeah.
I have not had an opportunity to speak to him yet. Hopefully, if I see him again in the future, I get a
Mm.
chance to actually sit down with him and actually show him that jacket and see what he says, and maybe I can get him an autograph.
Yeah.
And that's something I can put in my memorabilia box.
They're obviously a bit starstruck. You got a plan, you go, yeah, I'll go show them. Then the night of or the morning of, you go, yeah, I don't know if I'll go ahead with that. But yeah, I'm sure you'll get plenty of opportunities in the future because you said you've had multiple opportunities done very well so far. So what's next for you? Obviously, you mentioned the CYN as well. Yeah, what's else next for you?
Oh man, just a bunch of different shows. I have a show coming up this Saturday in Raleigh, North Carolina. A lot of more filming. I do a lot of acting, some more modeling work, of course, some more Control Your Narrative shows. We have some coming up in Orlando in June. We got a couple shows coming up in Charlotte, North Carolina in July. Back in Orlando in August. So we're moving around. We're hitting the towns. We're hitting different cities and states. So be on the lookout. Just look us up, controlyournarrative.com, and look up
Yep.
Pro Wrestling TV.live. That's where all our shows is being hosted at. Thank you, Pro Wrestling TV, for putting us on and giving us a platform to be able to showcase our abilities. So yeah, just be on the lookout because we got a lot of great things coming up. We got a lot of surprises coming up. And it's always going to be an amazing show. You're always going to have an experience.
This is final question for you, Victor. Favorite ever wrestling match to ever, not necessarily witness, but of all time, your favorite match of all time, wrestling match of all time, whether it's your own matches or anyone else's.
My own match, my most favorite one, it would have to be, as of right now, the match I just had this past Saturday in Detroit, Michigan. I wrestled against a guy named Caden Pierre.
Yep.
If you guys have looked him up, is Caden Pierre, Kaydin. He's an amazing guy, really great talent. The story that we told this past Saturday was nothing short of phenomenal, nothing short of theatrical. Yes, CYN is taking over. So close to that.
Yeah.
But my most favorite all-time match, as far as WWE, has to be the Streak versus the Era with Undertaker
Oh,
versus
of course.
Triple H,
Yeah.
because that's special guest referee.
Yes.
The storytelling, the emotion, everything behind that entire match, everything leading up to it, I feel like that was a match that was pre-planned 20 years ago. And it came to its climax at that moment. So that was the match that for me that meant everything to me. It made me change my perspective in the ring of
Yeah.
how I want to do things, in the storytelling that I wanted to do. So that match right there, all-time favorite.
Now, I just quick. I know I said last one, but I know you just mentioned then the Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. Were you just as surprised as Benny when Brock Lesnar ended the streak of the Undertaker, or did you think it was going to happen eventually at some point, or did you think it was never going to happen? Need to end his streak on a winning streak, or still?
My mentality at that moment was, wow,
Mm,
okay, now what happens now?
mm,
Because every time you watch WrestleMania, your mindset is to watch WrestleMania to see Undertaker perform, to
yeah.
see who's going to beat the streak or if it's going to continue to go. So when Brock Lesnar actually broke it, I was like,
Mm.
okay, so what do I want to watch next year? You know,
Yeah.
like why do I want to watch WrestleMania next year?
Yeah.
Um, so I was a little bit surprised, but it did have to eventually happen,
Yeah.
you know. And um, no better person than Brock Lesnar, in my opinion. You know,
Mm.
I don't think there was anybody that was really coming in. Maybe Bray Wyatt,
Yeah.
if he was doing the Fiend gimmick, you know, closer to that time
Yes.
to kind of take as the new face of fear type of deal. But
Mm.
Brock Lesnar definitely was a good pick.
Victor, I really appreciate you coming on the show today, and hopefully this isn't the last time we see you on WWE TV a few weeks ago with Via, and hopefully there's many more good things for you to come, whether that's WWE or someone else. Really appreciate it and wish you all the best for your future.
Thank you, and I truly appreciate you. And I want to say, you know, keep doing what you're doing. It's an honor to be able to talk to you. Thank you for giving me the platform to be able to speak my truth, to tell the fans who don't know who I am to get to know who I am, and just being a platform for a lot of us wrestlers to be able to speak and have a voice. So thank you so much.
All right, Victor, thanks for coming on and having me on anytime. Appreciate it.
All right.
Cheers, Victor.